You see a kitten reach a paw through the bars at a shelter and already picture them on your couch. But loving cats doesn't mean that kitten fits your life, and kittens aren't always the easier option. These 9 checks can prevent stress, unexpected costs, and the feeling that you chose the wrong cat. 1. Choose the cat whose life fits yours. A kitten is smaller than an adult cat. That does not make a kitten simpler. That tiny face on the adoption page comes with a young brain, a great deal of energy, and a world that still needs to be explored, climbed, chased, and occasionally bitten. If you work long hours, have young children, already live with another animal, or want a calmer companion, an adult cat whose temperament is easier to assess may be a much better fit. So do not begin with, "I want a kitten." Begin with questions. How active is this cat? How do they respond to touch? How do they cope when left alone? Have they lived with children or other animals? What does the shelter or foster home notice when the room is quiet? The cat who rushes to the front is not automatically your perfect match. The quiet one watching from the back may be overwhelmed, or may simply prefer a slower introduction. Shelter behavior is useful information. It is not a complete personality profile. Choosing an adult cat is not settling. Choosing for fit gives the relationship a chance to last beyond the first emotional moment. But the right match only solves half the problem. Can your ordinary Tuesday support the life that cat needs? 2. A cat is not a low maintenance. Pet cats can be independent. They are not self-maintaining. You may not need to walk a cat before work, but every day still includes feeding, fresh water, litter care, play, observation, and social contact. A food dispenser can release dinner. It cannot notice that your cat has stopped playing or give them an outlet for stalking and pouncing. Picture the end of a long workday. Your last Zoom meeting ran late, and you want to collapse on the couch. Your cat still needs a clean litter box, a predictable meal, and a few minutes of focused play, not an absent-minded wave of a toy while you scroll. That routine is not the price of being trapped by a pet. It helps keep unmet needs from showing up as restless nights, damaged furniture, or constant bids for attention. Time is the first resource. The next one rarely appears on the adoption listing. 3. The adoption fee is the smallest number that matters. The adoption fee is the easiest cost to see. It may be the least important number in your plan. Build the real budget in categories. Things you buy once, supplies you replace, routine veterinary care, an emergency reserve or insurance plan, and care for the times you travel. Food and litter are predictable. The cost of secure window screens or an unexpected Sunday night veterinary visit may not be. An Amazon cart can create a false sense of readiness. A beautiful cat tree may be useful, but it cannot replace money set aside for the moment your cat needs help immediately, not after your next paycheck. You do not need an extravagant home. You need a plan that can absorb ordinary care and an unexpected problem without forcing you to choose in a panic. Budgeting does not put a price on love. It gives that love somewhere solid to stand, and even a good budget only describes your life today. 4. You are adopting into your future, not just your weekend. You are not adopting a cat into one quiet weekend. You are adopting them into every change that follows it. What happens if your next apartment charges a pet deposit or does not allow animals? Who helps when you travel for Thanksgiving? What changes if your job moves you to another state? Your schedule becomes unpredictable. A partner moves in, or another pet joins the household. The biggest long-term risk is rarely that you suddenly stop caring. It is that housing, time, and backup care change, while the plan stays frozen. Make that backup plan while nothing is wrong. Identify someone who could help. Learn what your housing allows. Decide how travel care would work. Make sure everyone at home agrees not only to the idea of a cat, but also to the litter, hair, noise, expenses, and shared responsibility. Thinking about change is not pessimism. It is a promise that your life may change, but your cat will not lose their place in it. Now, readiness has to become something your cat can see, smell, and move through. 5. Prepare the home before you bring the cat home. Your cat's first safe place should exist before your cat arrives. Choose a quiet room or contained area with food, water, and litter set apart from one another, plus a hiding place, somewhere to rest, and something appropriate to scratch. Check it from cat height. Look behind furniture. Check cords, windows, small objects, plants, cleaners, and narrow openings. And do not confuse maximum space with maximum freedom. Opening the whole house may feel generous to you. To a cat who has been removed from familiar scents and roots, a smaller, predictable territory can be easier to understand. They can learn where the resources are, where the exits are, and where they can retreat without being pulled out. Those delivery boxes in the living room are only supplies. Preparation begins when you map the room from your cat's level. You are caring for them before you have even met them. But a perfect room cannot make the first few days look like the relationship in your imagination. 6. The first few days are not your cat's final personality. Your new cat's first reaction to your home often tells you more about their current stress level than their settled personality. They may hide, stay unusually quiet, or wait until the house settles before exploring. That does not prove they are unfriendly, ungrateful, or the wrong cat. Much of what felt familiar has changed at once. The smells, sounds, boundaries, and escape routes. The human instinct is to fix the distance. The family gathers near the hiding place. Someone reaches underneath to show the cat everyone is friendly. But pulling a frightened cat from the only retreat they chose removes the one piece of control they still have. Offer predictability instead. Keep the room quiet. Put resources where they are easy to find. Sit nearby without demanding contact. Introduce children, visitors, and resident animals gradually rather than turning the first night into a welcome party. Giving a cat time is not accepting rejection. It lets their real behavior emerge. And some of that perfectly normal behavior may be inconvenient for a human home. 7. Normal cat behavior can look like bad behavior. Scratching, climbing, hiding, and bursts of activity are not moral failures. They are behaviors that need acceptable outlets. A cat does not understand that the new couch cost more than the scratching post. If the couch is stable, tall enough to stretch against, and in the right location, the price difference means nothing to the cat. Punishment addresses your frustration. It does not change what made the couch the best option. Instead of asking, "How do I stop this?" ask what the behavior is accomplishing and where that need can go. Put a sturdy scratching surface near the chosen area. Reward its use. Give your cat appropriate places to climb, hide, chase, and retreat. Expect some fur, some tracked litter, and some ongoing guidance. This does not mean every behavior should be ignored. It means you begin with translation instead of blame. Once you know your cat's normal baseline, you can recognize when something is different. That is where a medical plan matters. 8. Veterinary care starts before something looks wrong. Waiting until your cat looks obviously unwell is not a complete veterinary plan. Before adoption day, ask for existing medical records. Know what follow-up care to discuss with your veterinarian. Identify a regular clinic and an emergency option. Then save both numbers before a Sunday night becomes a frantic search. Plan for preventive care, identification, and the unexpected costs you considered earlier. Make the carrier part of ordinary life too. If it only appears before a frightening car ride, your cat can learn that the carrier predicts something scary. Leave it out with familiar bedding, and let your cat enter without the door closing every time. Learn what normal looks like for this cat. Appetite, activity, litter habits, movement, grooming, and social behavior. Your cat cannot hand you a symptom list. A change from their own baseline is information you can bring to a professional. A medical plan protects physical safety. The final piece makes your home feel safe in the relationship as well. 9. Trust is built through choice, not forced affection. Bringing a cat home does not give you immediate ownership of their body or affection. You may have waited months for the first cuddle, the first photo, the first sign that the choice was right. Your cat does not know that story yet. They only know whether an interaction can end when they ask it to end. Let them be the one to close the distance. Offer a hand, then pause. Pet briefly, then notice whether they lean back in or move away. If they leave, let them go. Each time your cat learns that moving away works, your presence becomes more predictable. Predictability connects everything in this list. Meals arrive. The litter area stays usable. Hands do not chase. Hiding places remain safe. The carrier is not always a trap. Trust is not one dramatic moment on adoption day. It is the pattern your cat learns from what happens next. You do not need proof on the first night. Become the person whose care still makes sense on every night after it. Pausing before you adopt does not mean you love cats less. It means you are willing to include an animal's whole life in a decision you could have made from one beautiful photograph. Choose for fit. Prepare your time, your budget, your home, and your backup plan. Learn the difference between stress, normal behavior, and a meaningful change. Then give the relationship room to grow at the cat's pace. That is how wanting a cat becomes being ready for one.